Now I'm going to go into other collaborative efforts that we have, and I know that there was a pre-workshop, I believe, and then I think there was a workshop yesterday as it relates to social enterprise. Some of you remember at the last, no, not the last, because it was in, I don't even remember where the conference was. I just gotten off an airplane and I was accosted to do an impromptu presentation about a social enterprise venture that we have as it relates to weatherization. In 2007, we went through a competitive bid process to acquire a grant from a natural gas company in North Carolina, a relatively large natural gas company there, where we were providing weatherization work to their customers, okay? I couldn't quite understand the logic. In fact, I asked him, why would a natural gas company that has millions and millions and millions of dollars want to put $1 million out for free? Now again, it's a free service to weatherize a house that's on your grid. And they said exactly that. One, because our arrearages, we write off $15, $16, $18 million a year in arrearages. If we give you $2 million to go weatherize houses of our customers, even if they stick us with a bill, it'll be less of a bill because the house is more energy efficient. So we promoted and we pitched that to this particular natural gas company. So now we're in project number 8 with this particular natural gas company. That is a fee-for-service contract that we have for them, that we go into the houses, we do the exact same assessment as we do with weatherization. Now they will not replace heating systems, cooling systems, what have you. They will not do that. They will not replace the refrigerators. However, the project is not mutually exclusive. So in other words, it can be a natural gas house. It can also be a weatherization house. It can also be, in our state, we call it HARP, Heating and Air Repair Replacement Program, okay, where we can go in and replace those heating and cooling systems. So the projects don't have to be mutually exclusive, but if the person is a natural gas user who does not qualify for weatherization, we can do that house and then earn the fee because we have crews, equipment, what have you, that are not federally funded individuals. So we don't use any federal funds, we don't use any federal equipment or staff to work on those projects. Likewise, as a result of that, one of our municipalities, City of Wilson, again, City of Wilson, we were conducting a presentation to the City Council to let them know how weatherization efforts were going in their area. And the person was there from the City of Wilson Utilities, and I know some of you are familiar with surcharges that are added to your bill. So if your bill is 50 cents, you have an additional whole dollar or whatever. You take it to the whole dollar, they take those dollars, put it in a fund where they then assist with utility payments when it's cold or when it's warm. Instead of taking all of those monies and putting in just paying utility bills, they gave us a grant to do weatherization work with those dollars. Again, a fee-for-service venture where the only thing they had to do was be a City of Wilson customer. They adopted all the guidelines for weatherization, other than the fact that they went from 200% of poverty up to 250% of poverty. So our weatherization program was a feeder into that program for those people who lived in the City of Wilson. So if they didn't qualify for weatherization, they were over income, they automatically went into this other project, where again was a fee-for-service venture that we had there. We have completed that project. We're in the process of negotiating for a second project. We also have a similar project with the City of Elizabeth City that is, again, in North Carolina to do the same type of program, same type of funding. The last thing I want to share with you is recent grant dollars that we got through USDA, through the Housing Preservation Grant Program. So through the Housing Preservation Grant, we're going to be utilizing those funds to assist homeowners in a particular area. Of course, they have different income guidelines, but those grant funds are going to allow us to do some of the things in a house that weatherization may not be able to do, that prevents our deferments or our walkaways. So we're going to be utilizing our Housing Preservation Grant dollars to do that. Again, partnering with weatherization, possibly partnering with the City of Wilson project or what have you. And part of those discussions, once we talked about what we were able to do as it was related to Housing Preservation Grant, there was also a discussion about USDA in our service area relinquishing the 504 grant program to our agency because they're having a hard time getting their 504 loan and grant program moving in our area because of the work that we're doing with weatherization. Why would someone take out a loan to get the same work done when you can get a grant, which is weatherization? So we have talked with them about those things, and so we're currently in negotiations to take over that portion of their program, leverage the cost with our current weatherization program, and operate the 504 loan and grant program for USDA. Okay? We are all here, and as I said, we're a bit early. I have no problems with early. We had to turn off the blower door so that we could hear, and I know it's getting warm. So as I said, we're here. If there are any questions, anyone have any questions, any comments? But as I said, I don't belabor the point. When I'm finished, I'm done. But if there are any questions, I'll be happy to entertain any questions any of us would be. Yes, sir.
The contract with the utility company, private utility company.
Yes, sir.
They're using their own funds, or did they apply for a grant?
Their own funds. They have, most utility companies, at least the ones in the state of North Carolina, have a energy conservation pool of funds that they have. Now, different people use it different ways. You've probably seen the kits that some of them put out with the CFLs, the weather strip. So they either spend the money there, they'll do some literature in the school system to talk about turning lights off in the room or whatever. Pretty much every utility company in the state of North Carolina, because it was designated by the Utility Commission, has an energy conservation component of funds they set aside for that. They all have I guess they present to the utility company to decide how they're going to use those dollars. This particular natural gas company said, we want ours to be a weatherization program, so that's what they're using their funds for. A portion of them they're using for that. Now, we have done both a residential contract for them and a commercial contract for them. This project is strictly residential that we do now. Okay. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for me, for Ben, for Lavette, or Barbara? All right. Well, that sounds good for me. Let's go get some ribs and some barbecue. Evaluations, please. If you can complete your evaluations, and you can leave them in the back or bring them to the front. We all have business cards. If you please make sure you've signed the attendance roster. If any of you would like a business card or anything like that, I'm sure most of us have that information. If not, we'll definitely get it to Ms. Goodson to get that information to you. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you for taking your time to be here with us today. We're done.